My Lord and my God, I firmly believe that you hear, that you see me, that you hear me. I adore you with profound reverence. I ask you for pardon for my sins and grace to make this time of prayer fruitful. My Mother Immaculate, Saint Joseph, my Father and Lord, my guardian angel, intercede for me. Today we read that a Pharisee invited you, Jesus, for dinner. Nothing surprising here, really. You ate with publicans and sinners as much as with Pharisees and scribes and anyone who invited you. But this Pharisee was amazed, the Gospel says, to see that you didn't observe the prescribed washing before the meal. And you told him, "You Pharisees, although you cleanse the outside of the cup and the dish, inside you are filled with plunder and evil. You fools! Did not the maker of the outside also make the inside? But as for what is within, give alms, and behold, everything will be clean for you." Oops, okay. Well, that's not a nice way to speak to your host. The poor Pharisee could be thinking, gosh, next time I will probably invite Herod or Pilate or both before I invite Jesus for dinner. Yes, it's not nice. But you, Jesus, are not supposed to be just nice. There is a difference between being charitable and being nice. Parents love their children, and grandparents do as well, but in a different way. Grandparents are nice. You ask them for ice cream and they give it to you. You ask for money and they lend you some. Parents are another story. You ask mom for ice cream and she checks the time and says no. They say no because they love and want the best for their children. You, Jesus, left charity with this Pharisee as with a tax collector or a sinner by being truthful, honest. As a father with his children, you want the best for each of them. A father is not nice when he has to snatch the matches from the child's hands, or when he has to take him out of his sister's room when they are fighting. Mom is not nice when the baby wants to play with a knife or lick the electric socket on the wall. Parents are determined to do what's necessary for their children. I saw a drawing by a 5-year-old child that had a big red heart on it and a text that said, "Love is nice." Well, love is not necessarily nice. Love is strong. Love is determined. Love is demanding. Love is fire. Remember St. Paul in his first letter to the Corinthians? He says, "Love rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things." He doesn't say love is nice. He does say love is kind in the 4th verse. But the word for kind in the Latin version is Benigna es charitas, and in the Greek is chrēsteuetai, which means beneficent, to act with benevolence. Therefore, to act with the good of the person in mind, like a father to his child. So, no, love is not necessarily nice. In the letter to the Hebrews, we read, "God is treating you as children. For what child is there whom a parent does not correct?" So, if the Pharisee expected to have a peaceful dinner, he could have dined alone. If he wanted to have a fun dinner, he could have invited a clown. If he wanted the best food, he could have invited a master chef. If you only want to listen to nice things, then invite nice people and explain to them what you want them to talk about. But if you invite the Son of God to your house, what could you expect? He is the truth. You cannot reduce Jesus to silence. You cannot give Jesus a script. You cannot give Jesus a list of forbidden topics. You can't tame God. There is no safe place with Jesus. So there are only two options here. Either you don't invite Jesus to your home, or if you do, then you have the courage and humility to listen to the truth. And this applies to our prayer. When I pray, when I invite you, Jesus, to my place, I need to have the courage to listen to what you have to say. A safe prayer is not prayer at all. I don't pray only to tell you, Jesus, what I want. I pray to find out what you want. I don't pray to convince you to do my will. I pray to ask you that your will be done. When I invite you, Jesus, to my home, to my prayer, I need the courage to listen to you. Because you love me, you always come with the truth. And the truth hurts sometimes. It is demanding. My prayer should be pushing me to change. This Pharisee needed to know what purity was about. He was purifying the outside and neglected the purity of the inside, the purity of intentions, the purity of his heart. You, Jesus, could have eaten your dinner, chatted about the weather and Herod, and spared the Pharisee a hard time. That would have been nice, but not charitable. This reminded me of the testimony of Kimberly Han. You may have read the book, Rome Sweet Home. She was the daughter and wife to Presbyterian pastors. But when she received the blow of her husband's conversion to the Catholic faith, she describes this conversation with her dad during those days of agony. Her dad detected the sadness in her voice and asked her, "Kimberly, do you pray the prayer I say every day? Do you say, 'Lord, I will go where you want me to go. I will do what you want me to do. I will say what you want me to say. And I will give up what you want me to give up?'" And she replied, "No, Dad. During these days I have not said that prayer. I'm scared to say it, because that prayer could mean that I will have to join the Roman Catholic Church, and I will never be a Roman Catholic." And her dad replied, "Kimberly, I do not think that the prayer means that you have to become a Catholic. What it means is that either Jesus is the Lord of all your life, or he is not your Savior at all. You do not tell the Lord where you want or do not want to go. What you are telling him is that you are there for him. This is what disturbs me even more than the fact that you may become a Roman Catholic. You are hardening your heart against the Lord." So he recommended, if you cannot recite a prayer, then ask God for the grace to say it, until you finally have the strength to say it out loud. Open your heart to him. You can trust him. So Kimberly started praying for 30 days. "Lord, give me the grace to say that prayer." And finally she had the courage to say the prayer and to listen to you, Jesus. Mary, my Mother Immaculate, help me to have the courage and the humility when I pray to listen to your Son, to whatever he wants to communicate to me. Because he loves me, he will make demands on me. And my prayer, if it is honest, won't be safe, and it will change me. I give you thanks, my God, for the good resolutions, affections, and inspirations that you have communicated to me in this meditation. I ask you for help to put them into effect. My Mother Immaculate, Saint Joseph, my Father and Lord, my guardian angel, intercede for me.